am going to show you how to do the spinal reflexes competency. And I'm going to attempt to show you on my cat. Now, when you do the competency, I do not recommend that you use a dog or cat if you have it, because it's going to be too tricky. Anytime you're working with a live animal, you really need two people, one person to restrain and then one person to do the assessments. He's pretty chill, so we're going to see how this works with just me. I'm not going to be able to show you all of the things, or you may not be able to see all of the things, but I think it will be neat for you to see some of the reactions. So the spinal reflexes competency, these are little tests that we can do to check if the nervous system is functioning properly. And some of these we can even do to determine the level of anesthesia that an animal is under. So if you end up either working with or becoming a surgery tech and you need to tell if your animal needs more or less anesthetic, you can do some of these checks to do that as well. But so I'm just going to go in order on the competency, the same order that you guys have. I'm going to show you what to do, and then I'll give you some reminders at the end. Just keep in mind that when you do a competency, of course, everything has to be word for word in order for you to get all of your check marks. So this is just like a regular comp. The only difference is that you're going to be doing this from home with a stuffed animal. So the first thing that's on the list is the palpebral or blink reflex. So what we would want to do here is we would want to either touch the lateral side of the eye over here, or you can touch the medial canthus, so that's the part in the middle by the nose. And you can see that his response there is to blink. So that would be a normal response. The second thing that you can do is the corneal reflex. And the cornea, when you touch that with a little cotton wisp, you should get the same response. So the animal should blink when you do that. So we're going to try to, yeah, so he's got a good response there. And then we would want to do it on the other side as well. Get your head down there. So you would want to do it on the other side as well. Anytime that there's two of something, you want to do it on each side, because remember, there could be damage on one side of the body and not the other, or there could be damage on both sides. So you don't want to just check one side and leave the other one unchecked. So the third thing that you're going to do is the Menace test. So when you do the Menace test, you're going to bring your finger rapidly towards the animal's eye. You don't want to touch the eye with your finger, but you want to bring it rapidly towards their eye. And again, the response should be a blink. So I'll see if I can do that from the side here. Sort of. Here, look at the camera. Okay, see that? See how he's blinking there? And then this side. Yeah, so same thing. So that's a good response. You want to get a blink or a little bit of a jerk back, which he did. So the next thing that you're going to do is the pupillary light response. So you're going to take your pen light, which you probably aren't going to have one of these at home, so you can just use a regular pen or a marker to demonstrate. And you would turn the light on over here to the side, and then you want to bring the light in front of the eye. And what you would want to see there is you would want to see those pupils constrict or get smaller. So you're going to do that on one side, remove the light. You should then see the pupils dilate again. Bring it to the other side, do the same thing. Okay, so that's your pupillary light response, like this. Okay, the next thing is the oral pharyngeal reflex. So for this, what you would want to do is you would want to try to open the animal's mouth. And a normal response is that you should get a little bit of resistance, meaning that you want to feel like you have to kind of force the mouth open. So you would just take like this, and you would try to open up that mouth. And I definitely felt some resistance there. I felt like he was trying to close his mouth against me, so that would be a normal response there. The next thing is the laryngeal reflex, okay? So the laryngeal reflex is going to test some reflexes around the larynx. So for this, what you would do is you're going to take a tongue depressor. And I'm not actually going to do this to him because with me, I think it's going to be too difficult. But what you would do is you would have somebody open the animal's mouth. You would take a tongue depressor and you would stick it all the way back to the back of the mouth, and you would push down way back there, and their response is going to be to either cough or gag. So that's a normal response there. The next thing that you want to do is the ear pinna reflex. So what you want to do is you want to touch the lateral part or the outside part of the ear very gently, and the response should be a twitching of the ear. Okay, so you can see that in both instances on the left and right side for him. Okay, next thing is called the pedal reflex or the toe pinch. And what you're going to do is you're going to extend one of the rear limbs, and you're going to just gently pinch the toes, and you see what he does? He yanks back like that. So that's a normal response. And of course you would do that on both sides. Okay, so he's giving me nice normal responses. Next is the patellar reflex. So for the patellar reflex, you would use a percussion hammer, which again, you guys are not going to have at home. So just grab something that somewhat resembles a percussion hammer. And you want to gently strike the patellar tendon. So remember that the patella is on the cranial part of the stifle. So the patella is right about here. Ow, he's biting me. Right here, okay? So what you would want to do is you would want to have somebody helping you. You would want to tap that area very gently, and the response should be a jerking of the lower leg there. And you would do that again on both sides. Next thing that you can check is the tongue strength. So the tongue strength is going to involve opening the animal's mouth again, and you're going to grasp the tip of the tongue. And if you need to, you can use a piece of gauze. If the tongue has a lot of saliva on it, use a piece of gauze. You're going to gently pull the tongue towards you, and the animal again should give you some resistance, so they should be pulling their tongue back. I'm not going to do this to him because it might make him a little upset. And then finally, you're going to do the conscious proprioception test. This is also called knuckling. In one of the videos that I posted on the Nearpod, you can see them doing this, and there was a very abnormal response where the animal did not correct itself. So for conscious proprioception, you want to have your animal standing up. You want to take their paws, you want to flip them back, and you want to try to get them to stand up. Try to get them to stand on their knuckles. Now they shouldn't want to stand on their knuckles. They should immediately fix that leg position, which you can see that he did on the front leg. And of course you would do this on all four legs. And so you see he's not even letting me set his foot down in that position. Before he even gets it down, he's fixing it and he's putting his paw back down in the right position. So again, that would be the normal response. That would be what we want to see. You would want to see him fixing. So those are all of the tests, the assessments that you're going to do. Again, just make sure that when you do the competency that you're reading everything word for word. You want to make sure that you're going in order. Of course, you're not going to be reading off of a card. So just like if you were standing in front of me, when you record on your Flipgrid, you don't want to be having your book or your paper or anything in front of you. You just want to be reciting this from memory. You're going to be doing it on a stuffed animal, so it's going to go a lot quicker than what I just did with him. You want to make sure, in order to get all the points, you want to make sure that everything that has two sides, that you're checking both sides. So for example, when you're doing the ear twitch, I need to see you touch both sides, the left and the right ear, okay? If you're only checking one side of everything, I can't give you a point for that because you're not doing the full assessment. Anytime there's a neurologic dysfunction, you need to be checking both sides because you don't know which side is causing it. So make sure that you're doing both sides for anything that has two sides. For the conscious proprioception, you want to do all four paws. So you just really quickly boom, 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 boom. It doesn't matter what kind of stuffed animal that you use. It should be something medium to small and something that has four legs. Other than that, I don't really care what it is. You can do these tests with anything. Any equipment that you would need, again, I understand that you guys are not going to have those things at home, so just use something that resembles whatever it is that you need. For my pen light, because my daughter lost my actual pen light, I used a marker. So just get creative and use what you have at home. If you have questions, make sure that you email me. And the day that you're going to be recording these competencies is going to be Monday the 15th. Yes, Monday the 15th. So make sure that those questions get to me before Monday the 15th. You have until 11:59 of that day to get your competency recorded and submitted in Flipgrid.